Canada's airports were bustling in April, but fewer passengers were flying to the U.S. It's a sign that efforts by American destinations to win back Canadian tourists may be falling flat.
Something strange is unfolding at the U.S. border. The highways between Ontario and New York are open. Duty-free shops remain stocked. The signs still read, "Welcome to the United States." But the cars? They're not coming by over 35% just within the past year. That's not a slowdown, that's a crash. A sharp, unexpected crash across America's tourism hotspots. New York, Las Vegas, Orlando, San Francisco, the buzz is fading. International travelers who were once the backbone of U.S. tourism are vanishing. Passengers from Mexico, China, Germany, the UK, even neighboring Canada. Fewer are flying in. Fewer are checking into hotels. Fewer are spending when they do. This isn't a pandemic hangover. It isn't fear of conflict. It's politics and economics colliding into a quiet storm. By the end of this year, the U.S. is projected to lose over $12 billion in foreign traveler spending. Since the trade war escalated in 2021, more than $30 billion has already leaked from tourism. And if current trends continue, that total loss will cross $200 billion by the end of 2025. That's not a fiscal footnote, it's a national crisis. In 2019, foreign tourists spent nearly $200 billion in the U.S., supporting over 1 million jobs in hospitality, entertainment, dining, transportation, and retail. It was not just a sector, it was an economic engine. And now, global tourism revenue is down 22% from that peak. That drop isn't short-term, it's a deep, structural shift. Let's talk Canada. Historically, the largest source of American tourism. Weekend getaways, shopping sprees, spring break. Canadian dollars fueled our economy. But after U.S. tariffs hit Canadian aluminum, lumber, dairy, something changed. Canada didn't just retaliate with counter-tariffs. They launched a U-turn in tourism messaging. Support Canada, vacation in Canada. And millions listened. February saw a 23% drop in Canadian crossings. By April, that number was over 35%. One Canadian analysis puts $9 billion in lost U.S. revenue, redirected into Canada's domestic economy. Europe followed in its own ways. Germany quietly issued a travel advisory, warning that a visa no longer guarantees entry into the U.S., a subtle message, but enough to sow doubt. France, the UK, Italy. Tourists from these countries are canceling, delaying, or skipping U.S. vacations. Tariffs on European luxury goods, steel, wine, cheese, aren't just hurting industry, they're steering tourists away. Then there are the invisible tariffs. On paper, these are taxes on steel, aluminium, aircraft parts, kitchen equipment, but in practice, they show up in hotel rates, flight prices, and dinner bills. Construction and renovation take longer and cost more. Airlines are paying premiums just to keep fleets running. Even restaurants feel the pinch in refrigeration, ovens, and service tools. With U.S. import tariffs hitting around 30%, travelers are paying for it. Literally, tourists vote with their dollars. When they see higher costs in America or perceive it as unfriendly, they simply go elsewhere. Countries like Mexico, France, and Thailand are actively courting travelers, cutting visa costs, running campaigns, streamlining entry. The U.S., not so much. We're quieter about those efforts. And another fact stands. International tourists spend up to 7 times more per person than domestic visitors. They stay longer, they spend more, and now they're not coming. U.S. airlines are feeling the strain. Delta, Southwest, United have all cut earnings forecasts, not due to oil spikes or labor issues, but because passengers aren't booking. Americans still travel, but international demand has dropped. The U.S. dollar's strength is part of it. Combined with tougher entry rules and rising travel costs, the U.S. is becoming a less affordable, less welcoming option. Tourism's ripple effect is everywhere. Disney parks are reporting lower attendance. Broadway shows are selling fewer tickets. Luxury hotels in Vegas are leaning toward locals to make up revenue. These aren't minor losses. They reflect deeply on local economies. And every missing tourist means thousands in lost revenue. Food, transport, shopping, local tours, rental cars. One canceled 2-week trip isn't a small dent. It's economic ripple that impacts businesses across sectors. The World Travel and Tourism Council highlights a shocking truth. The U.S. is the only major country facing an absolute decline in international tourism. That single sentence should ring alarm bells in Washington, not because tourism is fluff, but because it's strategy, it's income, international engagement, reputation, and leverage. Can this situation be reversed? Possibly. Trade negotiations are underway with China and others. If tariffs decline, if entry rules ease, that could send a positive signal, but it won't be immediate. Trust must be rebuilt, reputations restored. America needs more than policy fixes. It needs perception rebuild, promotional campaigns, competitive visa processing, smoother airport experiences, and investor confidence in tourism infrastructure. Our global competitors are investing now. Mexico is offering visa waivers, low-cost flights, beach deals. France is rolling out digital tourist outreach. Thailand is marketing aggressively.
For the first time in nearly 4 decades, the Olympics are returning to Los Angeles, California. Today, we got a look at where many of the venues for the 2028 Summer Games will be, from Long Beach to Pasadena, Dodger Stadium, even the Universal Studios lot. Now, this is a big deal because when the world's biggest sport event comes to your country, you get a lot of tourists, a ton of revenue, global prestige that comes with hosting the games. Last year's Paris Olympics had more than 11 million paying visitors, and of course, many more TV viewers watching and saying to themselves, we should visit Paris sometime.
Here's the economic truth. Even if every American took an extra vacation, it wouldn't plug the gap. Domestic visitors don't deliver the same value. They don't fill Airbnb and boutique hotels. They don't fly transcontinental. They don't shop taxes-free or dine in premium districts. Missing global travel is more than lost revenue. This $200 billion decline isn't a forecast. It's happening now. Empty rooms, silent streets, lost jobs, fading global presence. A nation that once welcomed millions now risks being in the passenger's rearview mirror. If this perspective resonated with you, smash that like button, share it with someone who travels, and leave a comment on what you think the U.S. should do next. For more deep dives into global economic trends impacting everyday life, subscribe now and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.